Hello, and welcome to the final episode of Harmonia's Lament, a story where we built a city using the system, did you say street magic? Explored a city using the system Kids on Bikes, destroyed that city using the system 10 Candles, and now we are here, finally, to rebuild that city using the system A Quiet Year. So here we are, standing before the wreckage of Harmonia. But I want to give you all a chance to meet our architects. They are back to being architects. I have let go of the steering wheel and 4 people are going to go ahead and grab it. So we're going to go in turn order. Tell us who you are, your pronouns, and we'll do longer intros at the end. Sam.
Hello. Unfortunately, I am Sam Delev. Role-playing performer, variety streamer throughout the Twitchernet, and previously on, I played Morgan.
Hi everybody, I'm Kate. I go by Katiosaurus in all the corners of the internet, and don't adjust your screen. I have poison ivy. My pronouns are she, they. And last time I was Marty, and he was a spooky ghost. But now, I'm not. The end.
I like how you skirt by that really quickly. Hi everyone, I'm Ambrose. Before I played the sassy individual who went through a whole arc, Hope, and ended up sacrificing herself in a glory of emotion and rage, and we all loved it. And I'm SS Ambrose everywhere, except for Twitter, which is underscore at the end because Twitter hates me, as you all know.
Hello.
All right, and I'm Paula. Nardine, tell them who you are.
I'm Nardine Likadir. My pronouns are he, him, and you can find me online at Werewolf Feels. I'm looking forward to killing off another one of our babies. I mean, This is why I should have stuck with hello.
Nardine played Tuxeem in 10 Candles. Hello, I am Paula Hawthorne. You can find me at Art and Audio on Twitter. My pronouns are she, her, and I am facilitating these chaotic architects through the game of A Quiet Year. All right, so vaguely where we left off, we don't have any more spirits. They were causing some problems. Some stuff got a little bit wonky from a recital that was well played and well-meaning, but deeply destructive. And the spirits ran rampant and were attracted to incredibly intense emotions, which were, of course, previously illegal in Harmonia because of, we were sort of seeing that. And spirits were attracted to those emotions, and in the process of trying to feed off of them would destroy buildings, and bad things happened. And in a last-ditch effort to save the city, 4 brave folks, one of which was not living, opened up a portal, essentially a rift, a space where the spirits were sucked back into their side of Harmonia, beyond the veil, and the rift was closed, and there were no more spirits in Harmonia. A lot of time has passed since then. None of the buildings are standing. Harmonia is a pile of rubble, and very few remember Harmonia as it stood in its full beauty and glory of vertical spires connected by trapeze and rope bridges and walkways and all sorts of interesting methods of transportation, laden with instruments and music that the winds between the spires would play and harmonize. Multiple districts, neighborhoods, some of which were more prosperous than others, but the prosperous ones weren't really the best to live in either. With emotions being illegal, everything was a bit constrained and then got a little bit too unconstrained, and now here we are in the rubble. The way this game works is I'm going to pull a prompt from different decks of cards that are separated by suits. So we're going to go for hearts for spring to start us off. And I'll draw a card and read a prompt to the person whose turn it is. And we'll explain as we go and take it from there. But the game ends when the winter season King of Spades is drawn during which time in the original game the frost giants came, but in this game the spirits will return, whatever that looks like. Probably won't be super good for y'all, but we'll find out when we see it. All right, Sam, you're going to start us off, so I'm going to give you your first prompt.
Okay.
The Nine of Hearts. A charismatic young girl tries to tempt many into sinful and dangerous activity. Why does she do this, and how does the community respond? Very interesting start.
Yeah.
And, just so you know, each card has 2 prompts. I just pick one and read it. If you don't like that prompt, I can give you the other one. So you can say pass, and I can read the other one.
Great, very prominent books start with temptation. And it always goes well. So I appreciate this prompt. I think that the self-proclaimed Queen of the Rubble will be fantastic. Especially as she tempts the community to dig for artifacts from within said rubble.
All right, so give me a little drawing, just something on the map that represents the Queen of Rubble asking the settlers here to dig for artifacts. And how does the community respond?
More not positively, but more enthusiastically than one might hope.
Okay.
Wasn't it Oscar Wilde who said the only way to avoid temptation is to yield to it?
I'm not certain myself, but I see you've placed it near the crater, which is a good choice. The giant crater that was left by our players. I'll also take a moment here to mention that we have resources, 4 of them: emotions, plants and greenery, metal and brass, and songstone. Only one of these is in abundance, and of course it's emotions. We got plenty of those, but the rest are a little bit harder to come by. So now that we've addressed the prompt, I would move all the project dice down by 1, but we don't have that, so we don't need to worry about it. So now back to Sam. You will either need to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
I think we should discover an artifact.
Discover something new?
Yeah, I think something should come from this terrible temptation.
What artifact was discovered? This is one of those moments where you have full control. It's whatever you want.
I would love to open it to the group if I may, though.
Oh, of course.
I have so many ideas that none of
Chimes!
them will come out. Yeah!
Oh no. I don't
Chimes.
like this. We're
Yes.
Looking for the chimes. Looking for the chimes. I like that.
No more
Find the
chimes.
He's back. All right. You'll need to draw that too, Sam, but
Heck!
that does end your turn.
Okay.
I will say, whatever drawing skills are not required for this game, and also if you start a drawing, you can finish it during other people's turns. So it's okay if you get something down and then refine it later on. But yeah, the Queen of the Rubble unearthed some chimes. Let's move to Kate. Kate, your
Okay.
prompt. Your prompt is the Ace of Hearts.
Okay.
There are distinct family units in this community. Or are there? I misread. Are there distinct family units in this community? If so, what family structures are common?
I think as Harmonia fell, people started leaving. And most of them left in groups. Like you would leave with your family, you would leave with, the people that you knew. So a lot of the people who were left at the very beginning were people who either didn't have anybody or couldn't leave on their own, like elderly, that kind of thing. And so I think these sort of found family groups have come together like in the ruins of Harmonia. But it's not like, 1 and 2 and 3 person families. They're large groups. And so I am, that's my answer. Sort of like larger sort of like groups that like, and they talk to each other. They work together. Some of them are better at like gardening and some of them are better at like not gardening, other interesting things.
I got you. The skills, gardening, not gardening.
Skills, you got the 2 skills that there are in the world, gardening and not. And then I forget what I'm supposed to do next. I discover something, right?
Well, the project dice move, which we don't have any, and you will need to draw those family units, but we're going to move straight to, making that choice. Discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. What would you like to do?
I am actually, I think I'm going to, I'll discover something. I am going to discover in the ruins of Harmonia over here. This is where it is. There is a collection of knowledge. Like there's some like really, really old books, very, very valuable, very, very sort of important. And one of the family units has sort of tasked themselves with being the sort of guardians of old knowledge. And so they sort of protect this storekeep and they'll like go around and they'll look through different locations to see like what other stuff they can find. And so there's sort of like this little library, that's a library, is sort of coming up in this new version of the city that we used to know. And I'll draw little family groups too. Hold on.
Yeah, that's an amazing turn. We're going to jump right to Ambrose while those drawings are coming in, and I'll give you your prompt.
Hey.
Jack of Hearts. You see a good omen. What is it?
I would say, because remind me, I feel like the animals left first when stuff was going on before. I would say like animals start to return, specifically birds, and not just like birds that are seen as darker omens, even though I love crows and ravens and blackbirds. I absolutely love them. They always seem like harbingers, but now you have every feathered friend you could possibly think of, colorful. Some that haven't been seen in a very long time, and they kind of roost and clutter together, usually in the brighter areas where sun hits. So yeah, I would say that. I'll draw that in a bit.
You'll draw them in a moment because you actually are going straight to needing to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. We've discovered a few things. Discussions are good, but if there's nothing to discuss, there's nothing to discuss. But projects are those multi-week builds and expeditions and discoveries that take some time.
Whole discussion. And see how this goes, because I feel like I understand, but maybe I don't. Whole discussion question. I'm going to open up with a question.
So yeah, let me take a moment to explain to our friends watching, and maybe remind those who aren't entirely sure. With holding discussion, Ambrose is the one who starts. So Ambrose is either going to start with a statement or a question that sort of introduces the topic that needs to be discussed. We move in turn order, just like street magic, where you just say a sentence or two, just a concise thought as best you can. We move to the next person, and then go around in that turn order. If Ambrose started with a question, they get the last word. If Ambrose started with a statement, it finishes up with Kate speaking.
Yeah.
So how would you like to start?
You know what, I'm going to do with a statement. Or question. We'll see how this goes. Should we leave or should we stay? We're spinning our circles here. Everyone else left.
How far can we run?
where else could we go?
We don't know what else is out there.
Back to Amber.
It's either we stay here, part of this place that hasn't been fully built out in years, generations at this point, or we go in to find something new.
All right. And that's the discussion that was held. You don't need to draw any evidence of that. That was just a place to share thoughts. You do need to draw those birds, though.
I'm going to draw those birds.
Go ahead and draw those birds. Also, your drawings don't have to be literal. They can be symbolic. They can be vibes, whatever you want. They can also be literal. I'm not going to stop you. Nordine Ali. Let me pull your prompt for you. Also, the art on the cards I'm using, I'm so obsessed with. It's like a tattoo themed deck. Anyway.
Ooh.
Queen of Hearts. What is the most beautiful thing in this area?
Oh. Yeesh. The most beautiful thing in the area are the reflecting pools. Sitting at the edge of the ruins of Harmonia are these pools of almost liquid silver water.
I love it. Before you draw that, would you like to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project?
Let's start a project.
What would you like to start?
Harmonia's fall left a bunch of wreckage behind it, but not just the wreckage of the buildings, but the wreckage of the people. And I think we need to make a concerted effort to bury the dead.
All right. I'm going to make a mark of the started project, and then you're going to draw the finished one.
Mm-hmm.
But as a group, between 1 and 6, how many weeks do you think it's going to take to bury the dead? Which is a big question, I suppose. But
I'd say about a month. 4 weeks.
Yeah, because we gotta find them too.
Mm-hmm.
all right,
You've
4
got to
weeks.
find them. Aren't they already buried?
But we don't know where they're buried. If we uncover things, we'll eventually find bodies we don't want to find, versus a placeholder for them. Tombstones.
Mm.
What if we're trying to bury the dead and then we don't bury the dead? We actually dig up a cemetery and then we bury them, or we've unburied them and then bury them again.
It's unceremonious.
I don't know who in Harmonia I am.
We're not holding a discussion. I'm going to stop it here. If you
Sorry,
want to talk
sorry.
about it, you talk about it later. If you're upset, take contempt. We're saying 4 weeks, so let's do 4 weeks. So that's going to be the project die. Normally this is a D6, but I can't attach a D6 to a digital canvas. All right, so you can now draw. You're already doing your reflecting pools. Amazing. That's a full set of turns. We're coming back to Sam. I love the art that's coming up. Look at those little birds.
Little burbs.
Sam, your prompt, as we're still in spring, is the King of Hearts. Oh my god, this is very funny.
Oh dear.
A young boy starts digging in the ground and discovers something unexpected. What is it? Sam, you have the power to do something very funny right now.
Alas, I am but a humorless shrew. Oh, a buried vault of a place, some kind of gathering location, and everything in it is pink.
Oh gosh. Not pink.
Amazing. You will draw that shortly. But first, between that and your creation, we actually have a project die that we can move down. So instead of 4 weeks, it's going to be 3 weeks.
Yay!
Now, would you like to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start another project?
We should hold a discussion. We're doing a lot of delving and burying and uncovering. And what do we get rid of?
That is Kate.
Is it right to get rid of anything when we've already lost so much?
Get rid of, we barely have anything at all.
Tear everything down for all I care. There's nothing useful left.
The things that make these swirling feelings calm. Those we keep, the rest we get rid of.
All right. Discussion has been held. You don't need to draw it, but you do need to draw the pink room that was unearthed. Kate, your prompt. I also, I love the little bird sitting on the library, by the way.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Just a single.
8 of hearts. An old piece of machinery is discovered, broken but perhaps repairable. What is it? What would it be useful for?
It was a songstone excavator. It's something that they use like down in the mines. And so I'll put it, it's down here. Like over
Help
here.
us with our issue with sandstone.
I'll draw you a beautiful picture. And actually, I think the project that I would like to start is trying to get it up and running.
Oh, brilliant. How many weeks, group, do you think it's going to take between 1 and 6 to get a songstone excavator up and running?
The knowledge has been lost for some time. 6.
I agree with. I was gonna say 5 or 6.
I was gonna say 2. I've got like some Star Trek optimism engineering going on here. Dang.
Let's
think
split the
6?
difference. 5?
Or 5? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I won't draw the process here since the excavator was already part of a different drawing, but I will pop a big old 5. That's way too big. A big old 5 right on top of everything.
Okay, cool.
And I already moved that project die down to 2 between your turn, and so we move to Ambrose. Your prompt. I always say like, oh, it's your turn. Go do your thing, and I forget that I still have to do something. Ooh, where are you storing your food? Why is this a risky place to store things?
Oh boy. Part of me wanted to say the pink room, but that we just unearthed that. So
That might be where we store our food now.
You know what? Yeah, I'm down for it. Let's put all our food in the pink room once we unearth that.
Yeah, each turn is a week, so it was 2 weeks ago we found the pink room.
Okay, that's fair. Why is it risky? Perhaps it's a place that can easily be recovered, or like essentially, if a catastrophe happens again, it's in a place where it could just easily be cut off from us again. Personally,
so it's just been excavated; it could crumble again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fair reason. Project dice go down by 1. And what would you like to do on your second part of your turn?
What would I like to do? Lean towards discover something new. Let's see.
What will you discover?
I discovered, or not I, but some people discovered a matchbox with a single match in it.
Oh my god.
I have to ask, what color is that matchbox? And
It's
match.
pink. It's pink.
All right. Draw that. And see here. Draw anything else you need to draw. I'm just trying to look at what we got. Oh yeah, draw the food stores in the pink room if you can. But
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
any representation that we are storing food in there would be ideal.
Okay, let me.
Just a big sign that says supermarket.
Yeah, that is totally acceptable. I was playing a
Regular.
fantasy game and someone drew a bag of Doritos in a different game of Quiet Year. You never really know what you're going to get. All right, Nordine Ali. Just so you know, there's only 2 more cards in spring. So the second to last card. 10 of Hearts. What belief or practice helps unify your community?
Ooh. They call it the letting. There's a place in the middle of the ruins of Harmonia where the walls are so thick that no one can hear you from outside. And to be in this place, you can let out whatever feelings you need to. No shame, no judgment, just honesty.
All right. A new age scream easy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So the project dice now will go down by 1. And in fact, Nordine, you have more to draw because that completes Bury the Dead. So I will erase what I have drawn, the progress picture, and you get to, at some point, add what that grave site looks like. And to further add work to your plate, what would you like to do with the last part of your turn? Discover something new, hold discussion, or start a project. This is the a good example of why making 4 weeks the number that you pick means that the project ends on your own turn. Just so you
I
know.
didn't pick the 4, to be fair.
I'm just saying it out loud to the group. But what would you like to do with the last part of your turn?
The last card. Let's start a new project. Let's be bold. Let's be testy.
Heck yeah.
And I think the project is finding a place to store the chimes.
Ooh.
To keep them
How
safe.
many weeks? Group, how many weeks?
I wouldn't think that would take terribly long.
It would just be 1.
Let it be 2. Here's a
I
hot
was gonna
take.
say
So
2.
I can, take some time to draw some gravestones first. Put
That's
that
fair.
one.
We'll give it 2.
Let's bury our dead first. Jeez.
So Nordine, you need to draw a grave site, the letting, and you started a project, so you're good on that. Grave site and the letting. Also, just be aware, artists, that when you zoom in super, super close, it might not read super perfectly because what the stream is seeing is just flat unzoomed, just so you know. But we will, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you should stop. Just letting you know to be aware. Let's do the last card of
Flamingo lives where itty bitty pink flamingo lives.
I know there's just a little guy right here.
A little guy.
Everyone else know is around.
I'm gonna just put Waldo's all over here.
No, please do. Chat, you can just zoom in. Like I can post a picture to my Twitter of the full res, or Q times will, and then you can explore it. So, Sam.
Hello.
Final card of spring. Let's see what it is.
I was not trusted with a place for chimes. We were like, we could do 1 week. No. You know what we're gonna do? More than 1 week. We just gotta get past this trouble goose.
The person who starts the project finishes it as well, unless a card says no, actually, the person whose turn it is. So perhaps we've kept it safe for now. It is the 7 of Hearts. Let's see. Where does everyone sleep? Who is unhappy with this arrangement and why? And you can create NPC characters, by the way, and name them, or you can just say a group of people. This is all fine. But where do people sleep?
I get the sense that despite the fairly long time since Harmonia crumbled, there is a whole lot not super well established. Like, we haven't really reclaimed a whole lot or built out a whole lot. So, we're still sleeping in dugouts carved from rubble, and people on their aching backs are not feeling this. Our, chronic pain friends, our elders are not about this arrangement.
That's fair enough. You will need to draw that, but before we do, I will remember to switch to the eraser and bring our project dice down by 1 while Sam, you think about how you'd like to end your turn. Oh man, what was this before? It was the...
I want to start a project and build some dang shelters.
Smart move, solving problems. Hey group, how many weeks do you think that's going to take?
I'll say a month again.
Yeah,
It's 3 to 4
this feels
weeks.
like a big project.
Saying 4 weeks?
I was gonna, 4 weeks.
Okay. Sam, where do you want this place so I can start building it somewhere?
Let's see. We should build it near our pink room food.
That makes a lot of sense. Right near the graveyard.
I want to wake up near breakfast.
I'm just going to draw a makeshift bed and a 4.
And breakfast. There. Perfect. Nailed it.
All right, that's your turn. And we move to summer. Flying through this game. All right, Kate. Starting off summer.
Okay.
6 of diamonds. Outsiders arrive in the area. How many? How are they greeted?
One night, as most everybody in Harmonia is asleep, there is this very, very loud noise from sort of back behind the biggest part of the city. And when a few people from Harmonia go to investigate, they find 2 people, very ragged, very dirty, very, very hungry. And they've sort of been scavenging through what they can find in Harmonia. And I think that the residents are a little bit split. Half of them are yes, we can absolutely trust these people. Clearly they're in trouble. We need to help them. And the other half of the town is very much sort of we already have enough problems. We have enough mouths to feed. So, we'll, why show up now? And so there's a very sort of tension in the community with the appearance of these 2 guys.
All right. We will move the project dice down now. So Nordine, right back to you. Where do we store the chimes?
I'm already deciding a place. We got one way up high, right where the birds sing.
Ooh.
With my very unstraight, mouse-ridden hands.
Yes, audience, you might have noticed that some of us have mice, some of us have styluses. It's just a free-for-all, but honestly, I love what we've created so far. The project dice have now gone down, so Kate, how would you like to finish out your turn?
I'm going to have a discussion, and I'm going to ask the residents, should we welcome the outsiders?
Well, first of all, where did they come from? We had wanted to leave. Where are they coming from to come to us?
Let them fend for themselves.
It's just 2 of them. We can take in 2.
Back to Kate.
trust is earned, we will let them earn their place.
All right. And again, remember, if you feel like you were misrepresented as an architect or you weren't fully taken into account, at any point you can mark contempt in your little section and use that later.
I would actually like to mark contempt.
Ooh. That I was about to say,
that felt
you
right.
Seem to
That
agree,
seemed
yeah.
correct based off of your
So
name.
make a single mark of any kind in your little section with your name. I know you were drawing the Chimes house, so whenever is convenient. And then you can use that to either act selfishly in the future with no real repercussions other than the other people may be taking some contempt of their own, or diffusing tensions. And that's within the normal mechanics of the game. All right, that ends your turn, Kate. So Ambrose, let me give you a prompt here. 2 of diamonds. Someone leaves the community. Who? What are they looking for?
Do I have to like make up an NPC on the spot right now? I mean, I have no problem.
Some like one of the people with chronic pain. Like it could be vague. It could also be person with name, and then you can write down their name for reference.
Right. I would say like a teenager. This has been their entire life, this entire time, living in ruins, and seeing these 2 strangers that came in out of nowhere, that look a little different. Wanted to know. They're proof now that there is more out there, obviously. They might have been inspired to venture out themselves and figure out what's going on. If these 2 strangers can do the same, why not them? So they left, gathered everything they could, still like wasn't selfish about it, took everything that up to what they needed, left a note, and left in the night. I would say their name is Vega. So
all right, you're going to draw some representation of that. Also, Kate, I'd love to see a drawing of those outsiders if you have the ability to do so, just so that's marked somewhere.
Oh, I do. Don't even sweat it.
I know that y'all can use the stamp brushes if you want. I know they just draw legs, but halfway there.
We're doing it.
Please show everyone the legs. So actually, before you end up doing that, Kate, the legs are here. The project dice now go down by 1. So how did this restoration project go for the Songstone miner?
I think it was kind of one of those things where they didn't think it all the way through. They got it up and running, but it's like, great. Now what do we do with it? Like, hooray, it worked. Okay, we don't really need to mine right now, everybody. But so I think that there's sort of like a sense of like community pride, but also kind of a sense of like community, I don't want to say like longing, but like sort of like wistfulness for like, oh, like I remember that sound, like that was the sound that I would hear coming home from work, like that kind of thing. And so it's more about, I think, comfort than actual practicality.
Okay, but we have a working Songstone miner if we need it later, but it does work, and that's great. So to come back though to the person whose turn is Ambrose, how would you like to end your turn?
Discover something new. I would say in the rubble, found for the first time those unique instruments that were built to be a part of buildings on the lower levels. It's entirely intact and just a little rusted, could just use some work, some polishing, but it's in good working order. Its strings are still intact. Maybe some of it can just be I don't know if you can get more strings for this particular thing, but if you could replace it, it'd work beautifully.
All right. Good people coming into frame here on the top, right?
I'm really good at drawing. Okay.
Oh my god, I love these legs.
I will say, even the best artists, starting legs first is a hard thing to do.
Gotta just live your life legs first. Said Sam never.
We live. Nardine Ali.
Oh no.
Your prompt.
No. This is the end of spring, isn't it?
We're in summer. We're well into summer.
Okay.
No, this is the third prompt of summer. I just haven't been announcing the card names. The Four of Diamonds. Ooh, okay. The eldest amongst you dies. What causes the death?
How many years has it been since the fall of Harmonia? Since, like, the 10 candles?
I've been sort of thinking between 10 and 20.
So what was the prompt again?
The eldest among you dies. What caused their death?
It's quite simple. Old age. It's a sad thing because they can no longer steward us. But we will always remember how beloved our Morgan was.
How dare you? How dare you come from my heart? Oh.
Excellent.
Oh, I'm
Dies
sad now.
off screen. Now.
Damn it, Nordine.
Yeah, I think my 10 to 20 answer is just going to adjust to make that possible. 100%. Morgan lived a long life and helped everyone. 1 week left in the beds project. Now, Nordine, how would you like to end your turn?
I'm feeling frisky. Let's start a new project.
Yeah, what would you like to start?
The spirits went. We don't know where they went. And I think it's going to take some of our best researchers some time to go searching through what remains of our archives to learn what happened to the spirits.
All right. How many weeks, group, will that take?
I mean, we gotta find the archives first. So 3?
I was gonna say 3.
All right. I'm going to draw a little ghosty here so I know what I'm doing this for.
Little ghosty ghost.
And then a 3. All right, Nardine, that is your turn. Sam, your prompt. 3 of diamonds. Let's see here. Summer is a time for production and tending to the earth. Start a project related to food production.
Fantastic. One of our resources is plants. We should get some of the eatables plants and plant them systematically in like rows and stuff, so that then we have consistent plants.
Are we inventing farming?
We're disrupting farming. Innovations in the farming space. No, but seriously, like, it's the difference between gathering available greenery and farming greenery deliberately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that.
How many weeks will that transfer take of planting a farm?
It's gonna take 4 weeks, I think. I think it's gonna take 4 weeks.
Yes, I will draw my 4s different every time I write. All right, how would you like to... project dice go down by 1 immediately, because this project was started off a prompt card. So, it doesn't matter, I even drew a 4 at all. How would you like to end your turn, Sam?
I want to discover something new.
What are you discovering? Oh, actually,
yes.
I hate to interrupt, but your bed project just seems to have finished.
Yay! Comfy. I can be
Twice
horizontal, but without rocks under my back.
So that's something you'll need to draw. Finish bed project. But also, yeah, what have you discovered?
As our beloved elder, Morgan, was buried, we discovered they had a cache of sheet music of some kind.
Okay. Yeah, draw those 2 things.
Okay.
Kate, your prompt.
Okay.
The King of Diamonds.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Summer is fleeting. Discard the top 2 cards at the top of the deck and take 2 actions this week.
Okay.
I'm discarding 2 prompt cards now. The project dice will quickly go down by 1, and you get to pick 2 things to end your turn.
Okay. I would like to discover something new. This is maybe spicy. I would like to discover the remains of the arch.
Okay, in the crater, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like the Archie remains. And I will start I'll start a project. I'll start a project of trying to get it put back together again. They want to like try and rebuild it.
Brilliant ideas.
I'm gonna put it like
how many weeks group will it take to rebuild the arch?
1.
it's very
Well,
It's in pretty good
how they
shape.
Find it. Yeah, it depends on how it's found. Yeah.
I think it shouldn't take too long at all, to be honest. It's like the commitment to do it. We can get it done, you know, if we commit.
You're committed
Also,
to
we don't
causing chaos. What are you talking about?
Let's be frank, there's not many projects going on right now. So we've got a lot of resources to spend in multiple different directions.
All right. I'm not hearing a number other than 1. So
I was gonna say 2. I was gonna say 2.
I love 1.
Listen, we got 2 votes for 1.
2 for
I
1.
think that's fine, yeah.
All
So
right, I
1?
put a 1.
All right. I'm gonna mark it temp though.
Yep. Yeah, you absolutely mark contempt. That is the right way to do that. All right. Kate, that is your turn, though you'll likely have to draw again very soon with that 1-week project. Ambrose, your prompt, the second to last of summer since we discarded so many cards. Jack of Diamonds. Predators and bad omens are afoot. I wonder why. What measures do you take to keep everyone safe and under surveillance? Do not reduce project dice this week.
Oh.
Well, never mind on those 1 weeks, but yeah.
Oops.
But it seems that all of the resources are going to keeping everyone safe.
Since we have so many birds, I would say that over the course of specifically the more predatory birds or birds that can be used for surveillance and the passing messages, possibly making a coop to have those carrier pigeons is the best way to put it, to alert people or letting them know where to go, where safe places are, if anything does happen, or a warning system brought about by ravens specifically to like go into that direction that needs to be given. So if no one's able to like find safety soon enough, just follow the birds is the best way to put it.
Right, follow the birds. Project dice are not reduced, so everyone was too busy training pigeons. Ambrose, how would you like to end your turn?
Yeah. Hold a discussion.
All right.
Okay, I might have to ask how I can use contempt in this situation, or if I can in general, but let me pose the question first, I suppose. Is building the arch really the best idea?
Nardine.
Does it really matter what you think? It's happening now.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're not the boss of me.
It's what got us into this mess. Maybe it could get us out of it.
I don't think we should be messing with things that we don't fully understand. And there is a reason why we are in the situation we are right now.
To elaborate on contempt, it's hard to find a use for it and hold a discussion.
It's fine then.
Though I think you should, if you want to take another from that discussion.
Oh, totally. I'm definitely taking another one.
It can be used when you're discovering something new, especially, but even when you start a project, you could discover something new and discover that someone has sabotaged the arts project. Like, that's, you're acting selfishly. Or you can use your contempt token to say, a long discussion was held and tensions have been diffused and folks are, moving in this direction instead, sort of taking a unilateral control of the narrative. Other people might take contempt off of that, so sort of push and pull, give and take, but that's going to be your use. Or how you answer a prompt can be selfish or diffusing tensions. And again, it's like a token this is my excuse to be a little selfish because I feel like I've gotten stepped on too much. That's why the mechanic exists. All right, but that does end your turn. Nordine, Ali.
Yeah.
You're going to end summer, our last summer prompt. Actually, and since that'll make us the halfway point, we'll probably take a break after the end of summer. 7 of diamonds. We're ending on 7. Ooh. Introduce a mystery at the edge of the map.
A mystery. Here's a thing that I think might be fun. There is a new arch at the end of the map.
Excellent.
It's bigger and prettier too.
Excellent. All right, project dice go down by 1, so we have a lot to do actually. We'll go with the arch first. So Kate, the arch restoration is complete. You're welcome to draw what that looks like, but also tell us what that means.
I think all of my answers have a pattern, I'm realizing. But I think like the arch comes up pretty quickly. It it's only in like a couple of pieces. There's enough sort of like random stuff around that they can easily sort of like set the stones and like balance it. And there's this sort of air of hushed expectation, as like this final stone sort of gets set. And nothing happens. And then nothing happens, and then nothing happens, and for a couple weeks afterwards nothing happens, but there's this air of sort of like expectation, like we did it, we fixed the thing, so why aren't our circumstances fixed? And I think out of that a little bit of sort of bitterness begins to sort of stir in a lot of the people in the town. Like, they thought maybe that was going to fix it, and it definitely did.
Mm-hmm. Nordine, the ghost research project is complete.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like? What happens there?
We learn that the ghosts have never really gone. Something is keeping them back instead.
All right, and do draw some kind of representation of that. Lots of art because of projects. But before you do, to add more things to your plate, how would you like to end your turn? Discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project?
This is a good question. You know what? Because so many strange things have happened recently, we're going to discover that the supermarket is now empty and there is no food to be shared with anyone. And I'll spend a point of contempt to do so.
I was about to make you do that. Yep. Food's gone. And actually, with the food disappearing, that's going to take us to a quick break. Before we go, though, I just want to say how much I love the art that is going on this map. Y'all have been diligently drawing through each other's turns, and it's been amazing. Just the little, I'm definitely going to make sure we download something and have this available in case you're watching on something that the quality isn't reflecting just these ravens and the little guy that's waving. And these secret little Easter eggs y'all have been throwing in. I've seen them come in, and I'm like, don't mention them, otherwise I'll talk about them for the whole game. No, they're amazing. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will see you back here soon for the fall and the winter. And welcome back. Hello, everyone. We are playing through the second half of the final episode of Harmonia's Lament. We are currently rebuilding the destroyed city of Harmonia, and we now have two portal-y archways, one of which seems somewhat functional. That will be fine for us, I'm sure. But we have been drawing through the game of a quiet year, and we have made it through spring and summer, and we are about to start autumn. Now, I believe we're starting up with Sam, is that correct?
Yes.
Cool. Sam,
Apologies
your
in
prompt.
advance. Oh well.
The Ace of Clubs. Oh, this is a long one, so I'm going to read through the whole thing. Excuse me. Community becomes obsessed with a single project. Which one? Why? And then choose one of the options. Let's see. Yeah, why don't you pick your project first? It looks like there's only one active, though.
Okay. That's plants, right?
Yep, that's farm.
Well, guess what? Shockingly, after the supermarket is messed up, people focus on the security of their food supply. Counterintuitive, I know, and yet here we find ourselves.
It's a very well-timed prompt. We are focusing fully on the supermarket. And then there are two options here. They either decide to take more time to ensure that it's perfect, add 3 weeks to the project die, or they drop everything to work on it. All other projects fail.
Oh, all of the other there's no other projects? Perfect.
All right. It doesn't say that it speeds up this project, just that all other projects fail. So
it doesn't delay.
Yeah, now that you've completed it, completed that part of your turn, the project does finish up. I believe whose original project was this? Was this Sam or Kate's? I forget.
I think it was mine because I started saying funny things about plants and Rose.
That is correct. So now you get to draw the farm. But before you do, you will have to finish out your turn. So what option will you select?
I'm gonna discover something new.
What do you discover?
As people have restored Songstone and found a place for the chime things, on windy days, people hear whispers.
Draw whatever will represent that. No, but yeah.
Just that face. Just Northane's face right then.
All right. Kate, your prompt.
Okay.
King of Clubs. A natural disaster strikes the area. What is it? And then there's a second part to this, but just tell me what it is and then I'll give you the second part.
I want you to know that the chaos gremlin part of my brain was like, volcano lava, but I will not do that to you. So my answer will be earthquake.
All right. Now choose one of these two options.
Okay.
You focus on getting everyone to safety, remove an abundance, and a project fails. Or you focus on protecting your supplies and hard work at any cost. Several people die as a result.
Gosh, that's a hard choice. Okay, here's what I'm going to say happens. I think the second one happens. But I don't think it's on purpose. I think what happens is after the food disappears from the supermarket and there's so much focus and there's so much energy going towards the farm and making sure people like get fed and saving up sort of food for the winter, there's sort of like a rush to help and there's a rush to sort of pitch in. But what that means is that a couple of people get sort of like into the fray and they wind up dying. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so nobody was like, fuck them kids. It was just like, you know.
It was an accident. It was panic.
Exactly.
And we get to save our abundance of emotions, the only abundance that we have. Now, project dice should be going down by 1, but we don't have any active projects. So, Kate, how would you like to end your turn?
I'm going to start a project. I think that as we move from summer into fall, the sort of conversation about like, okay, well, we're not gonna have the sort of like growing that we have, so like store housing, smoking, drying, like all of that sort of different like starting up supplies. So after the earthquake and some more of the buildings are sort of destroyed, there's like this realization of like, I think we need a storehouse. And so they start putting together a storehouse like close to where the farm is, which I will draw for you now.
How many weeks group will this take to set up a store for food for the cold months?
I think like 3 or 4. Like
I'm thinking 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Less time than we would like because there isn't that much food to store, so not too much storage needed.
And do make sure you draw remnants of that earthquake as well.
Okay, here we go.
Lots of projects for you all.
Earthquake. What earthquake looks like, okay? Well, science. Earthquake.
I'm not from California, wouldn't know.
Yeah.
We only have this.
It's true. Yeah, does that look right? Just wiggly lines.
Right.
That's what they look like.
Very
all
talented
right.
artist.
Ambrose, your prompt. 3 of clubs. Someone issues a dire warning, and the community leaps into action to avoid disaster. What is the warning? Start a contentious project that relates to it.
Oh wow. Okay. I would say, because I was going to say an elder, but like Morgan's not here, so I'm really sad. Unless there's like a different like elder.
There's probably other elders. It's just the eldest was Morgan.
I think with the passing of Morgan, this elder brought forward that the arch isn't good. Like it's just this ominous weight over the entire community, and the fact that like nothing happened, which is great. But it is just a reminder of the time before, and warns that like even though nothing's happened, it's probably because a lot of things don't line up. Like hence the like music isn't being used, luckily, and stuff like that. So don't worry about it. But something, just think of either a contingency, way out, or a way to protect, or even getting rid of the art, are all the things that are brought up. And then a project along with it.
So you said what the warning was. The next part is start a contentious project that relates to it.
So I'm torn between 2 things. So help me out. I do one that's a little bit less contempty. Was going to be making or reopening those pathways that people were making before that were used for children to leave, to like repurpose those as ways in general for people to leave now that like there isn't barriers to entry, like ghosts sucking out souls is stopping people. So like having that ready to go, or sabotage the arc is another one, which feels like a contempting thing to me, but thoughts?
I mean, it says that the community leaps into action to avoid disaster. That second one sounds pretty avoid disaster, if that's what the elder's saying.
I mean, if y'all insist.
How many? Feel free to take contempt if you feel like that's making unilateral choices there. How? Let me see here. How many weeks will it take to sabotage the arch?
I'm tempted to say 1 because like it took one week.
One to
like,
build, one to put away.
One to put away.
Yeah, fair. One. All right. That was in the prompt. So, while I hate to do this,
oh my god.
all projects go down by 1. Ooh, big line. So that's down to 2. And the arch has been sabotaged. So, Ambrose, what does it look like sabotaged? What happened? Well, I'll say it takes 1 week, so I'm going to wait a turn. I don't know what the house rules are for this, but it would make no sense for it to happen immediately.
Okay.
I'm going to withdraw my question. How would you like to end your turn is my new question.
Right, because I have to do another one of these because it was part of the prompts. I'll say whole discussion. What do we believe might happen if the arch becomes active again?
The balance between living and dead will be restored, finally.
It's gotta be something good. I mean, they had it for a reason, right?
I don't know, but it's not like we got a lot else going on. Might as well find out.
I am curious, but I am also nervous. So I guess we'll see what happens.
All right, that's your turn. Nardina Lee, your prompt. 4 of clubs. The strongest among you dies. What caused their death?
Why do I keep on getting the killing ones?
These cards are just on my desk, pre-shuffled. I don't know what I can tell you.
Well, we've established very few NPCs of name. So, the Queen of the Rubble, who led our people to rediscover their old history, was found murdered.
All right. Then we'll leave that there. You can draw it however you want. Project dice go down by 1. So now, Ambrose, I ask the question: how is the arch sabotaged?
How would the arch be sabotaged? I'm thinking like it looks like, since there was an earthquake that happened at some point, maybe riding the coattails of this, like, oh, things are unstable. So it looks like someone might have clipped it in a certain way where just a few rumbles could move it or adjust it or cause it to crumble in certain spots, very much like an earthquake would. So yeah, it's just like loosening its support, I guess, is the best way to put it.
All right. Draw something to reflect that if you can. And back to Nordine, how would you like to finish your turn?
I'd like to start a discussion. Who will be the next to lead us?
Sam.
The most scholarly among us, the ones who understand the old ways.
The old ways got us into this. We should choose someone who's known nothing but the time after.
I don't think it should be one person leading. I feel like it should be several.
What? So that way, whoever's the killer will only kill one of them instead of all of them? Great idea.
Take contempt as needed. And that ends your turn. Sam, you've made a lovely little farm.
Thank you. It felt like Stardew when I was making it.
I saw it happening in the corner. I was like, Sam's doing a farming sim right now, aren't they? Amazing. Your prompt. The 8 of clubs. Someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond?
All right. Well, this might just be absolutely out of left field, and in retrospect, I put the field on the left. But there was an arch that was recently sabotaged, and the culprit is caught. Before I get too into detail, Ambrose, was there any idea about that you had in the back of your head that you want to spin into that before I just pop off at the mouth or whatever?
Ooh, can I add some sass here? All right, so I feel like everyone I don't have names, so if anyone wants to add names, go off. But I'm thinking that someone was extremely vocal about the arch and it's not good in general. So everyone thought it was this person, but it turned out to be someone that used this person as a way to sabotage as well. So like, oh yeah, direct to this person instead, because they were extremely vocal about it. And I think that person goes down for it.
The one who deflected to the vocal one is
the vocal.
Yeah. Or the vocal one is caught.
The vocal one is the one that goes down for it.
Ooh, excellent. I love and embrace that as the nominal culprit. And with the discovery of the sabotage, I think it inspires the community to double down on the arch.
Let's
I feel like
find
this
out
is
where
a
that
game
goes soon.
under our
Yeah.
game.
We love this.
I have a gay agenda.
There's a second arch right here that's just vibing, seemingly with lightning inside. I just want, we're not looking at that one. I think that makes sense. The community is focused on the squabbles of the first arch because of what it represents.
Mm-hmm.
Now project dice get moved down. So Kate, how does the storehouse, what happens here?
It's a storehouse. It's not like the most majestic or good of storehouses, but like it's sturdy. It's got some doors. It's got, they like made it sort of like lined it so they can like keep stuff in there nice. It's like, but now like they're just kind of like waiting for the crops to be done so they can sort of like start like actually utilizing it.
All right. And Sam, how would you like to end your turn?
I want to discover something new.
Okay.
I think a couple different kids in the community start talking about their imaginary friend who has a gruff sort of voice, but they claim protects them.
All right. Draw what representation of that, whoever that may be. And coincidentally, Kate with a prompt.
Who could it be? Yeah, okay. What's my prompt?
Your prompt is 9 of clubs. A group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and find something that had been previously overlooked. What is it?
They find... Oh, they go check out the second arch. And when they go check out the second arch, which had sort of previously been overlooked and, nobody was really paying attention to it, it seems like there has been recent activity around it, but they're not, the people who go out to sort of look at it are just kind of like scouts, so they're not quite sure what that means or what the implications of that might be.
Okay. Something's up. Project Dice would go down by 1, but there are no projects. So what would you like to do, Kate, with the end of your turn?
I would like to... Can I discover something new? Is that allowed?
Sure is.
Sure is. Yeah, so out past the arch, the secondary arch, out past there, there's kind of like a little road guy. And on that road is a skeleton. A spooky, scary skeleton. But it's not of a person. It's of a big, giant creature that nobody has ever seen before. That's weird. Weird. Okay, I'm going to draw all of that now.
Yeah. You've given yourself a difficult project. I can't wait to see it come to fruition. Ambrose. Your prompt, Jack of Clubs. A project
Jack.
finishes...
I'm getting all the jacks. That's good.
Again, all random. I don't...
I love them. I love jacks.
Well, you might not love this one. Project finishes early. Which one? Why? But if there are no projects underway, which there are not, restless creates animosity, and animosity leads to violence. Who gets hurt?
So, the food went missing. Like, what happened with the food? The food just, like, vanished, essentially?
In the chaos, the supermarket was empty.
Okay. So I would say that because of that, like, there's the need to, like, replace the food, find more food, make more food, whether farming or venturing out or whatever it might be. There's also blame being distributed to the strangers that came to stay with us, that they might have something to do with the vanished food. So I would say that one of those strangers, one of us starts it with them, but we get into altercation with one of those strangers.
Okay. Normally Project Dice would go down after that, but there, again, no projects. It's leading to animosity. What would you like to do, Ambrose, with the end of your turn?
Has anyone, like, started a project to research the second arc yet? Okay, I'm gonna do that. Because I would like to know more about the second arc.
All right, how many weeks group will it take?
To do it thoroughly, I'd say 6. Might take all the way until winter. Maybe it'll never get done at all.
I see what you're trying to do here.
I've only heard 6. Any counter arguments? 6 weeks it is.
That's fine.
I see how it is.
I'm gonna be like 1 just to be a shithead.
And honestly, it's 1 week if you just walk over and poke it and then see what happens. But there's good thorough energy.
You need to be thorough just because of everything else that's happened, I'm assuming.
And who knows, the project could finish early. All right. I believe that ends your turn. So we move to Nordine Ali with the second to last card of Autumn. The 10 of Clubs.
Preparing for the fall.
Yes, it is. In fact, harvest is here and plentiful. Add in abundance.
I think we have an abundance of plants and greenery.
Makes a lot of sense.
I'll write that myself with the special red that we're not allowed to use. Nope, that's not red.
This is very not red. do you need help, Nordine?
Shh.
Sorry.
I can manage on my own. I'm an adult man. Of course I know what red is. That's brown. Oh no.
I'm gonna let you struggle now. Project Dice go down by 1. So now 5 weeks. I don't want to get in the way of these headless scouts. They're coming in.
Their heads are growing. They take a minute.
Of course. Nordine, how would you like to finish your turn? And would you like any help with your A?
Yes, please. I'm getting very frustrated with colors. I'd like to start a discussion. Wouldn't it not be better to abandon this place entirely, leave it to get overgrown and destroyed?
Yeah.
It would be such a shame to waste what's here. We can make it better. Surely.
Everyone is always so quick to run away and give up when things get hard.
I do recall asking this question first before. I'm glad you caught on now.
I'm just going to take another point of contempt for that.
We're going to throw it my way. I'm going to throw it your way, Nordine.
Mean, problematic, cruel.
Cancel.
Is that your final? Is that your final line in the discussion?
Yes. In fact, it is. That is correct.
All right. We move to the final prompt of fall with Sam. Sam, this is the 2 of clubs.
The final
You find the final fall. In fact, you find a body. Do people recognize who it is? What happened?
This is...
Oh God, we have so many people. It could be.
Ooh. This is an unknown enemy of the Deflector. The one who engineered the sabotage of the Arch. No one knew they were enemies. But if you know, you know.
Okay. Project dice go down by 1. And Sam, how would you like to end your turn?
I would like to start a project.
How would you like to start?
Learning the old music.
Learning the old music.
No.
Hey, group, how many weeks will it take to learn the old music?
It's not gonna take long.
You know what? I think that we have so many virtuosos here. It should only take a week.
I'm going to say 3.
Ooh, 3 is fun.
What's the difference?
2.
You know, Ambrose, if you want, I'll take a point of contempt if you want to take a point of contempt for that.
Sure. Sure.
Splitting the
of you-
difference.
Listen, if y'all have points of contempt, you can act selfishly and just override. Says it takes 1, it takes 3. You have selfish points to use. Just ask me if it's a good time to use them.
Is it a good
Now-
time to say 3 weeks instead?
Yeah, spend your token.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to add 2 weeks to the Arch learning. I'll only spend 2 points of contempt to do so.
You know what? It's not in the rules. I'm going to say it is now. Yeah, back up to 6. I'm going to say spend all your points.
Spend all my points, done.
Spend all your points. You feel great.
You
We
must
should definitely
feel,
learn
you
the
must
music
feel fucking
before
proud
we
of
learn it.
yourself.
So proud. I got what I wanted.
Oh my god.
Alrighty. Amazing, y'all. I believe that ends Sam's turn. So, Kate, first prompt of winter.
Okay.
Jack of Spades. That was a long one. Okay. An infected outsider arrives seeking amnesty. They have some much needed resources with them. Choose one of these 2 options. The first one. Welcome them into the community and remove a scarcity, but also introduce the infection to the community. This can be metaphorical or literal, up to you. The second option, bar them from entry. What scarcity could they have addressed? How does its need become more dire this week?
Can you read the first prompt again?
Yeah, so the start is an infected outsider arrives seeking amnesty. They have a much needed resource with them.
Okay. I know what I want to do, but I don't know if it's allowed.
I mean, Nordine just broke the rules and added 2 weeks to the research project, so I'd love to hear what you're thinking.
Okay. So here's what I think happens. I think that in the town, there is a young man named Lucian. and Lucian is just trying to do his best. I think he fancies himself sort of like an up and coming leader in the community, and he is on guard one night when this outsider approaches, and Lucian and the outsider start having a conversation, and the outsider starts talking about how he was an academic and he had done all of this research, and Lucian realizes that this outsider might have answers. But rather than welcome the outsider into the community, Lucian, under the cover of darkness, kills the academic, straight up murders him while nobody's watching, takes his notes, takes his books, takes his stuff. And Lucian is now unknowingly infected with whatever this person had. But comes back to the rest of the town and tells them that, he found this like out on a scout mission or whatever, and claims the glory for himself.
All right, I'm going to take that as the first option, except for the welcome them into the community portion. You get to remove a scarcity, but also introduce the infection to the community. Do you want to give any details on this infection, or will it be vague for the time being?
I think I would like to leave it vague for the time being, please. Okay. And I'm gonna
what becomes to introduce remove a scarcity. So between metal and brass and songstone, what knowledge does this outsider bring that brings that into abundance?
I think
it brings it into neutral. Sorry.
Yeah, I think songstone. And I think it's because he has knowledge about the gates and how the gates work and function. And Lucian just takes it all for himself.
All right. Drama. Project dice now go down by 1. We are closer to learning music, and we are somewhat closer to learning secrets.
Yeah, somewhat. I wonder why. Seems like it's taking longer than it should. I don't know why. I don't understand.
We'll never know, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll never know.
It's a mystery.
How would you like to end your turn, Kate?
Sorry, I'm just saying something.
Nordean quietly marking contempt. The more you bully him, the more powerful he becomes.
I would like to discover something new, but what they discover is there is mold in the storehouse.
God, this food, you can't get settled. Draw that as you can. And Ambrose, you are up.
Yeah.
Your prompt. 5 of spades. Winter elements destroy a food source.
Yeah.
If this was your only food source, add a scarcity.
I'm assuming that farm plot over there is our only source of food at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate. So yeah, it's a scarcity now.
But I drew it.
I don't want to cross it out. I really don't. It looks so nice.
Like started.
It was. Can I just? I'm not gonna put it. I'm just gonna like put an X. Like.
It's so fine.
Like, cause I was like, yeah. Thank you.
All right, project dice go down by 1. And Ambrose, how would you like to end your turn?
Oh boy, I don't know. I'm stuck. Hold discussion. What is this affliction that's going around the town lately?
It's penance for our years and years of opulence before the towers of Harmonia even fell.
It's ambition. The desire to build high and rise again.
it's a problem that needs dealing with, but I appreciate the poetry, y'all.
It's something that we should probably take care of sooner rather than later, whatever it is.
All right. That ends your turn. Nordine Ali. You have the 9 of spades. Someone goes missing. They're alone in the winter elements. Choose one option. First one, the community organizes a search party and eventually the person is found, but project dice are not reduced this week. Or no one ever hears from them again.
There were a few people working on learning the old music and the old ways. One heard a song, wandered off into the woods, and the others didn't notice until their work was completed. They're never heard from again.
All right. Project dice get reduced this turn. And yes, I am aware that the scarcity and abundances spell out ass. It's going to stay like that until something changes.
We got an abundance of that.
We got an abundance of that too.
That also reminds me of the first thing Kate drew when we opened this canvas. So, you know, full circle. Anyway. Spoiler alert, it was a butt. Hey, Sam, I think this music thing was your project?
Hi, yeah. Hello.
How does that turn out? How does relearning the music turn out?
Well, that group that learned it, when they have the to have the power is to use the power. It's much more a question of how it will be wielded. For good and ill. It's gonna be both.
You now have power. We'll see where it goes. Draw something if you can for that to reflect it. And Nordine, how would you like to end your turn?
I'm going to discover something new.
All right, what do you discover?
Great question. So what I'm going to discover is that the chimes have been moved from their resting place.
All right.
And
any other?
They've been moved. Hold on. I gotta.
They're scooting. They're scooting across the map.
Yep, and they've been moved
to the portal.
Yep.
All right. Excellent. Sam, it's your turn.
Oh dear.
Your prompt is the 10 of spades. In preparation for the coming year, the community begins a huge undertaking. Start a project that will last at least that will take at least 5 weeks to complete.
In winter. All right.
You might make it. There's actually, I believe, 6 cards left in the winter deck. So if the last card is the king, this will be successful.
One of the people who learns the music is going to try to prepare a concert to funnel the abundance of emotion into Songstone. If performed, ghosts could feed on that and not on people. If it fails, and ghosts were to return, it would be ruinous.
5 or 6 weeks. I think 5 weeks is the only achievable selection there.
I would like 5.
All right, I'm going to put it next to the music again.
So I'm saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Slim chance. We'll see. All right, we moved the project dice down by 1. I did previously establish that 5 won't move because it's this turn, this week. So we are going to... That was a 3, so it's a 2 now. All right, Sam, how would you like to end your turn?
Let's see. I don't think I hold a lot of discussions, and I feel like perhaps
Do it.
we should. Should we keep investing in these projects of the old world when we have food issues right in front of us?
Kate, I believe it's you.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I think we need to stop asking so many hypothetical questions and focus on what's right in front of us, which is a need for survival.
I agree we should be focusing on the food, but there is this ominous vibe over the community. I feel like that's why there's this weird pressing need to figure out what's going on with ARC, old music, all this other stuff. So I understand, but everyone's following that ominous feeling.
What if you are the food?
Of course it wouldn't be you. Nicely done.
There's more to living than just surviving.
And that ends your turn. Kate, I love your chonky token of contempt.
Thank you. It's very contemptuous.
Very good. All right. Speaking of which, Kate, it is your turn.
Hooray.
Your prompt, the 8 of spades.
Okay.
Winter is harsh, and desperation gives rise to fear-mongering. Choose one of these 2 options. First one. The community organizes a constant... Nope, I jumped a thing, sorry. Spend the week calming the masses and dispelling the violent sentiments. The week ends immediately. Or, declare war on someone or something. This would count as starting a project.
To declare war on drugs. Actually, I'm going to say the first one, but I'm going to say how it happens isn't necessarily like an intentional thing. What happens is as this sort of winter concert starts to get planned and people start sort of showing up for rehearsals, music starts to be heard in Harmonia again. And just as people are sort of working and trying to get through the day, all of a sudden they'll just hear like a snatch of music in the background or like a little snippet coming from somewhere. And as that keeps happening and as that kind of becomes par for the course, as the musicians keep on rehearsing, the residents start to just get a little bit of hope and like a little bit of compassion and a little bit more patience towards each other as this like event comes up on the horizon.
All right. The week ends immediately, and we move to Ambrose. Your prompt. The Ace of Spades.
Oh man, I love that. All right, cool.
Now is the time for hurried labor and final efforts. A project finishes early, but gain a scarcity. What project finishes early, and what abundance becomes a scarcity?
Okay.
Or neutral.
So, I would say the project that I had started, but I really like the song Stone and the plot to like, if this works, we're good just in case. So I'm going to say that project ends early.
All right. Sam.
Yeah.
How that look?
Oh, it's
it's anticlimactic, uncomfortably so, that at the end of the concert, everyone seems to be waiting for something to happen. And it doesn't. There are those moments where people look at the songstone and they think it looks a little different. And there is, in the residents of Harmonia, a feeling of calm. But is it magic? Or is it just the catharsis of having done this? It's uncomfortable because the only way to know if it worked.
All right.
And then I mark the scarcity, right?
Yeah, I already brought. So what becomes a scarcity between songstone and emotions? We're gonna wreck the fact that it says ask, but how would you like to wreck that?
Would you like to add an extra S, or would you like? I'm gonna say emotions because emotions are tempered. It seems like things have been brought down and there's a calm, so I would say that emotions aren't as high now. So, yeah.
All right. That is your turn. Nordinelli.
Yes.
Your prompt. The Queen of Spades.
Oh dear, we're getting close.
One card away. You see a good omen. What is it?
A good omen. The food that was taken from the supermarket has now returned.
Okay. Project dice go down. So it's been so long. Remind me, who started this research project? That was you, Ambrose? Or
that was Ambrose, yeah.
It was me, and someone kept on trying to added more weeks.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. I've been trying to mentally keep track of whose project. So Ambrose, what does that look like when that project finishes?
Oh man, I forgot I had to come up with something for this. Okay, I would say that world building.
Just know we have 2 cards left in the winter deck.
I would say as research was being done on this, it had just appeared. It was a mystery, kind of along the same time as the other arch was found and started to get put together. It seems like it might be a back door for spirits to come through from if the arch wasn't connected. It might have been like a throughway, a pathway, a highway, perhaps, to streamline spirits coming in. Maybe it was its time to be built if this one failed, essentially. But the proof is that the chimes have been moved here. No one has moved the chimes here. No one understands why it's here, who bought it here. I know a lot of sabotaging has been happening because people feel certain ways about what's going on here, but that still stands, that no matter how many times people tried to move the chimes back to where it would always return no matter what. People guarding it, it would just always appear. It feels like it is fated that this is supposed to happen one way or another.
All right, Nardine, back to you. How would you like to end your turn?
I would like to discover something new.
Okay.
And I think what we discover after a few too many earthquakes is that some of the area around the crater has fallen apart. And what do we find? But an abundance of songstone, hidden after so long and finally returned.
All right. That ends your turn. Sam, the second to last card in the winter deck is the King of Spades. The spirits return. The game is over. So what I'm going to have us do, because it's over now, the spirits come back, I'm going to each go around, starting with Sam, since it is your turn, and just give me a piece of an epilogue. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll be done. Sam, what is the first thing?
One day, both arches alight. No one's in quite the right place in town to see that it is simultaneous. But with perfect synchrony, they do. The songstone throughout the city hums, and the metals of instruments long lay dormant begin to hum as well. A little kid starts crying. Don't worry, kid. I got you.
Kate, what do you add?
The chimes in their new location, because they are out in the open, because they are in a place where, they can be easily seen, they start to ring more frequently, and they start to almost louder than they should be, sort of reverberate through the town. And one day they start to chime all at once. And first it sounds like nothing, and then it sounds like something, and then suddenly all at once it's quiet again. And when that happens, no one's really quite sure why or how, but many of Harmonia's lost spirits become visible again. And suddenly there are so many more people, so many more spirits and people in Harmonia than there were before.
Ambrose.
There was a moment of fear because they weren't sure what would happen once the spirits reappeared. The songstone started to vibrate with a loud color as well as a loud sound as soon as they appeared. And it felt like when they first came in, there was this weight of desire, ravenousness, and then it immediately was quelled as soon as they appeared. That desire, that hunger immediately dissipated. And it was like having another set of people that knew the history of everything here. Ancestors, old family friends, all here, all knowledge lost before is now before us, and suddenly we don't feel alone anymore. We don't feel like we're pulling at scraps or trying to make something out of ruin. We feel like we have an actual shot again.
And bring us home, Nordine.
The ugly truth is that there always were spirits who were against the founding and the creation of Harmonia as anything else other than a farm to feed. But those voices have been overthrown. And spirits, even the ones that were driven to wild actions, return to protect the citizens of this new Harmonia from any voices or anything else which would dare to siphon who they are again.
And I will write in here, Harmonia's return. Thank you all so much for playing Quiet Year, as well as 10 Candles, Kids on Bikes, and I'm sorry, did you say Street Magic? As we have told a wild story using some incredible indie systems. Thank you all so much. So quickly, these architects really did the hard work on this, so I want to thank them especially. So again, in turn order, tell us who you are and where we can find you. Sam.
Hello, I am Sam Delef. I've been your architect of song. You can find me throughout the Twitchernet, the schedule for which is on my About page, twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEBELY. Please be sure also to catch my YouTube, where clips from said Twitch go up every week to learn about science, because it ain't just magic here, baby. We got it all.
Amazing. Kate is froze. Oh,
It was, but it's back, I think. Okay.
You're good.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kate. I go by Katiosaurus on all the corners of the internet, where I educate and advocate about ADHD, mental health, and sex and intimacy. And sometimes I play TTRPGs like this one. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on YouTube. You can also, if you want, listen to my podcast. It's really good. You should. It's called Infinite Quest. And you can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also catch me. I don't know why that's happening now. That's super annoying. The internet doesn't want me to advertise for myself. But I'm playing a bunch of cool games with a bunch of cool people. And you can learn more about it by going to katiosaurus.com. Okay, bye.
Ambrose.
You're all so cool. Hi, everyone. I'm Ambrose. I go everywhere as SS Ambrose, except for Twitter, SS Ambrose _, because Twitter hates me. That's right. In terms of other things that I am the founder and creative director of Othersiders Studios, where we do horror, gothic horror, investigative horror, cosmic horror, all that wonderful stuff. We are getting ready to start season 3 of Arcane Core, so stay tuned. You can also find me on the Lovely Craftians podcast. We are on season 4. We are on hiatus, but if you love binge listening, Call of Cthulhu Actual Plays with all film cast, by all means, please take a listen. It is wonderful. And I'm going to be in a couple of things this year, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this was fantastic. Y'all are wonderful.
Nordine Ali.
Hey, my name is Nordine Likadir. My pronouns are he, him. You can catch me everywhere on the interwebs as Werewolf Feels. I've got a few exciting projects coming up. I'm a TTRPG writer, consultant, designer. I wear a lot of hats. So you can see me up next. I think I'm writing for The Vineyard, or at least that is what I'm currently working on and slowly being driven mad by. It's great. Also, you might see me coming up on Roll For It, as I frequent their channel a lot. I play Azam over on the Atomless, which is a podcast. You can also find the stream version over on Momo O'Brien's Twitch channel. And you look forward to seeing even more of me. There's some vampiric shenanigans coming up, and it's not just villains, which you will see in October. There's even more. But that's it for now. I guess that leads us to our amazing facilitator who guided us through 4 games, creating keepers and design throughout the entire way, Paula Hawthorne. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, it's me, Paula Hawthorne. You can find me on Twitter at @ArtAndAudio. I'm an indie TTRPG GM, as well as a creator of different indie game keepers. I actually have those keepers now available in my store. Oh no, itch.io. It is linked in my Twitter. I think it's /ArtAndAudio, but I don't remember how I divide those words in this case. Hyphens or underscores, you never know. But I have a bunch of keepers there. I also take requests. So if you have an indie game or you like an indie game and you want it to be playable online, please reach out to me and I will help you make that possible. But yeah, thank you to Q Times for making this whole thing possible. And thank you to all of the amazing writers who created the games that we used and linked to create this amazing story. Thank you all so much. And I hope to see you back here sometime soon.
Bye.
Bye.